Welcome to the Good Ride, where we're here to try on snowboard gear so you don't have to. And this is the AK Cyclic Pant. Wanted to show you our jackets first with this. This matchy thing's pretty cool lately. I've been enjoying it. I've had some reader requests, and I've also wanted to try again the Cyclic Pant because I heard it's gotten a little baggier, and when it comes to fit, it has. Back in the day, I put on a Cyclic Pant once, right? Just got it out of the mail, put it on. I was going to run upstairs, and it was so tight in this thigh region. My thighs haven't changed in size, but back then it was so tight, and this crotch rode so high that it literally racked my nuts. I had to take a knee on the stairs. I didn't even make it up to the mirror to see if these pants fit me well. I just took them off on the staircase, slowly slid down in pain, packed them back up, and returned them. But now these fit really well, and I can just move freely in here. I even have some room to put a little stuff in my pockets. It's just not sucking around my thighs, and I love it. I'm almost the same weight as when I tried these in the past, so it's clear they've just made a little change to the fit. It feels more in line with the AK Swash pant now, and I really like that.
Yeah, I personally like the fit on these a lot. I've had some other 3-layer Burton Gore-Tex pants in the past that were a little stiffer. And on these, I can't really go above the 45-degree angle with the crotch and the tightness through my glutes. But when I get up to here, this is an easy stepping motion, no real restriction, and I wouldn't have a problem hiking in these throughout the day.
Hey guys, Grant here with the Good Ride. Got the Burton AK Cyclic Pant, compliments of Gravity Sports about Bachelor. These are size medium, and James and Davey have already given you their take on most of the tech features and things they like or dislike about the pants. And my size is, got a 31 waist. I'm 6 foot, weigh about 160. Inseam's about 32. So I'm very familiar with these pants and the jacket, and I don't think there's really any faults with this unless you're wanting something like super durable. They always do the best colors in the Cyclic, and they have for like years. I'm a sucker for this pant. It fits me great. It's got a supple fabric. It's more supple than like a 3-layer, so it's not as crinkly. So if you're not working at the resort or working in an industry and you need like exceptional durability, unless you're doing 8 hours a day and you're trying to get 200 days out of a pant, then this would work for most people. The zips are great. I love the articulated knees. It fits well. I think it's gotten a little baggier over the years, as James has mentioned. One thing I will note, so I'm 31, an exact 31. I've got the Velcro tabs pulled pretty tight where they're like slightly going over the, so to speak, female end of the Velcro. And but I always wear a belt anyways, whether it be like those nylon climbing belts from Patagonia, Metolius, Black Diamond, any of those, like, or Cavu, any nylon belt really, like an outdoor type belt that's not going to absorb water, or an arcade belt which has to stretch. Those are really cool. So I'm always wearing a belt anyway, so I'm not super worried about the waist because I'm used to wearing a belt. Same with pants or whatever. But yeah, like I was saying, you saw my specs. This is a perfect fit for me, and I don't think for the price point there are any faults of this pant. It's an amazing product, and it could be a great solution for you. Thanks, guys.
And when it comes to construction, you have 2-layer Gore-Tex with a mesh inside. Not a super fan of this mesh because it's very mesh. There's a lot of membrane exposed, and when you sweat and all that stuff, even with a first layer on, it comes through easier than it does, let's say, with the Cyclic jacket that has a taffeta liner that protects that membrane a lot more than this really porous mesh. So not a huge fan of that, but in practice, you just have to be a little more diligent with your washing and make sure that you're not eroding that material with your sweat and whatever other nasty shit comes out of your pores. But the outer layer, I just love this smooth-ish. It looks durable and burly, but at the same time, it's going to be pretty good at repelling wet snow and water. It's not going to be the ultra and it's just sliding right off, but it's going to be up there.
So my question is, how do you think this mesh liner compares to the 3-layer Gore-Tex that just has no liner?
No contest. But we can ask Grant too, because he's more of the expert.
With the way the fabric's laminated, there's a backing on the 3-layer that's laminated to the inside of the membrane. And with these, with this, you can see the membrane. So you have a mesh, which is more breathable, but also more susceptible to being damaged by friction or you sweating into it or however, washing it, whatever the case may be. And with the jacket, with the Cyclic jacket, you have the floating solid taffeta lining, which is another layer of protection and more for like durability, but you don't get the breathability. And back to the 3-layer, so that one is that laminate is a Trico backing that's laminated to the inside. So with the 3-layer ones, you'll see it looks kind of a gray appearance. So it has a backing there on it. And that's the most durable, but it's a more expensive construction. And it may, typically lasts longer, but depending on how much you're using it for, if you're working in the industry or whatever the case may be, or if you just love a product and want it to last forever, then that's going to be more durable, but you're going to, possibly pay, $200 plus more retail per product. So
Especially if it's Gore-Tex Pro. But man,
Yeah.
if you rain ride, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, they're all good in their own way. It just depends on your situation and what you're looking for.
Thanks, Grant. Yeah.
Now we know. And when it comes to pockets, we got 2 big down pockets that almost get to the meaty part, to the less meaty part of my thighs and my quads. It's starting to get to where the knee begins. But if you're somebody like Grant who's going to try these on after this, you'll see that they'll ride higher. Then you got this one side pocket, just like the Cyclic bib, that has, this will get down to the bony part of your leg, your upper leg, or your knee with most people. But then there's also a little stash pocket here to allow you to throw in a little something else.
This little stash pocket seems like it's the perfect size to hold an ID and a debit card.
There you go.
I couldn't imagine anything else that would fit in there.
Or a pass or something like that.
Or
Yeah.
a pass. Yeah, or a pass.
And this is great right here, pocket-wise. Just a taffeta-lined pocket, a very thin taffeta. So it's really smooth in and out. Back zips too. I love this feature about the cuffs. Oh, yeah, there it is. So you have this thing here. You can pull it out, and it pulls the back up. So you don't ruin your cuff on the outside of your boot when you're walking along in a parking lot or doing a lot of long hikes, and this runs down a little longer than it normally should. So it's a feature unique to Burton. It's proprietary, but it's pretty damn cool.
So when it comes to venting, there are no side vents. But as Beastie is showing you, there is a big old crotch vent. So this crotch vent does open up all the way across your crotch. And we love that because it prevents yeast mode.
You want to be in beast mode. You don't want to be in yeast mode. And
exactly.
and just I can feel so much heat coming out when I just opened up this vent inside the studio here. I love it. And so I don't necessarily need the outer vents. They're nice to have, but I definitely have come to depend on this continuous venting throughout the inside there, and I love it.
Personally, these pants feel a little warm, and I would love to have at least a small little outside vent, even if it was just like 2 or 3 inches.
You have to step up a bunch in price point to get these outer zips, which is really nice though. And when it comes to buttons, you have 2 old school buttons, and these hold so well. No belt necessary. Inside, you also have adjustability right here. and you can just get this dialed out. And it's a little loose for me. I'm a 32 to 33 inch waist, and this is a medium, and it's a little loose for me. But if I tightened it up, I wouldn't need a belt. I'd probably put an arcade belt on anyways, though. Love those belts lately. Not sponsored, just love them, and that's what I've been using a lot lately. I'd probably put one on just in case, but you don't really need it.
Yeah, I'm a size 36 waist. I got these XL pants on, and when I adjusted this waist strap up until where the Velcro is flush with the other Velcro, they feel about like a perfect 36 waist. And if I have the ability to pull them in a little longer and have the Velcro nose kind of be a little flappy if I needed the extra tightness, and I feel like they would go down to a 38. They would go down to like a 35 waist, maybe even a 34 if you really fully tighten the elastic.
Yeah, and overall, I think the improvement to this pants cut is amazing. The mesh is questionable at this price point for 2-layer expensive Gore-Tex, but you get badass zippers, you get a really well-constructed pant on the outside, and it doesn't rack my nuts anymore, so I really like it.
And for me, all I care about is Beastie's nuts being racked. So if they're not getting racked, I'm giving this thing a double thumbs up.